Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine reads, separate reads, as well as sand art and oracles at the end. I did want to bring up the general energies at first. We're definitely going through portal energy again. I was getting portals in the reads as well yesterday and today for the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. We're going through a portal. And also watch Magenta Pixie's last video on Halloween, because it's a very important portal. So I'm glad that everything was syncing up with what I was getting. The energy is actually better yesterday and today than it's been this week for me. It's not very much sun here today, but the energy is certainly not bad. I feel more grounded today, and I'm going to get right into it. So I didn't have a whole lot from the sand art, but I got more out of it than I thought I was going to. There was only a few pictures from the sand, because it just kind of fell and then just kind of hung halfway. So it's kind of like being in limbo a little bit. But there's nothing negative about that. Some of the energies did have to do with death, but that has to do with the portal as well as transformation. So there may be some funerals and services going on right now, but also is getting tombstones as well as quiet and peace, as well as mummies for Halloween, and just from Egypt, that energy, as well as you needing to focus on the feet and the head and shoulders, maybe just more so than usual, which makes sense because the feet connected to everything in the body. And then I had been getting a little bit of upper back stress. So anyway, getting head and shoulders and feet, and actually a little bit in the sacral area as well, and that actually might be lower back. I also saw a rescue, like on a rescue board, where somebody was in a head block or a helmet to hold their head still because of the trauma. Also saw someone just lying around being expected to be waited on hand and foot. I also someone seeing spirits and little fairies. I see someone reaching for it. Also towing the line came up, as well as someone tying up a boat at a dock. Okay, so that was the energies from the sand art. And now I'll get into Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine reads. There was a lot that came up in both reads, so I'm going to get right into it. Hopefully it won't run too long. I'm not going to get too much into the online code stuff, because there wasn't anything I felt was truly significant. Before I forget this too, at 3:33 I started singing Loving You by Olivia Newton-John. That was a message coming through for you guys. And I haven't heard that song in forever. But it's funny because somebody along the journey, a reader had actually connected me with Olivia Newton-John, so it was kind of interesting that that came up. Okay. So first of all, today is the 29th. It's October 29th, 2018. It is my son's birthday. Happy birthday, Matthew. I hope he's having a good day. And the 29 is the Three of Wands. Traditionally, it's about waiting for the ship to come in, or looking forward to the next step in business. You know, you've already gotten to one level and you're going to the next level. It also, though, the way I see it on the journey, more and more so, it becomes representative of staying present in the current moment. Okay, and just appreciating your feelings and what you see right in front of you now, to stay out of the going forward and the going back and the thoughts that go circling around in your head. Okay, so it's about staying present, but it's very physical as well. Planning what you're going to do physically. The day adds up to 50, which is a 5, and 50 is the 10 of Cups, so it's the end of the cycle, the end of the emotional cycle, and it has everything to do with love and family. So it can be, and it was just 444. 50 and 5 have to do with expansion and change, and children, and romance, and freedom. has to do with travel and vacations, that kind of thing as well. But it has the zero, or the source energy, behind it. Okay, so it's really powerful expansion, which makes sense. It's the Ten of Cups. You know, it's the epitome of emotional satisfaction with family. So we bring together the Three of Wands, which is very much about, it's more business oriented, but it can just be life in general. You know, you have the Two of Wands where you're deciding a path, and the Three of Wands is then developing that path. So maybe the family's going to go on the back burner right now because it's, you know, you've reached as high as you can with the family. Now you want to focus more on your work, or maybe something creative that you want to build, something different. So we start out the Divine Feminine read at, and the read was put down between 10:10 and 10:29, which is the date today. So there's a lot of syncing with the Divine Feminine read. And just as I started the read, the squirrel came to my front window to say hello. So that was nice to see. The major arcana for the Divine Feminine were the Hanging Man, the Tower, Transition, which is the Death card in the Sirian Starseed deck, and Abundance, which is the Empress. There were 3 wands, 1 pentacle, 1 cup, and 2 swords. Okay, so more heavy than usual on action for the Divine Feminine, but a little bit too much in the head compared to the cups and the pentacles. But actually, overall, pretty well balanced. And if it's going to err on the side of wands, that's not a bad thing, okay? Because that's just physical activity and passion. The court cards were the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the King of Swords. The numbers that came up in the coding and the read were 10, 8, and 18, and 9, since 18 is a 9, as well as 88, 31, 12, so 3112. And that was it for the numbers for the Divine Feminine today. Also, 10/8 came up, as well as 1, which is 1.25. So if that means something to someone, let me know. The coding for the Divine Feminine had to do with what you're doing and your and the energy and money that you're manifesting from it. It was getting to the point of, if you wear too many hats, you're going to have a tight wallet. Okay, so it's trying to get you to focus more on just 1 or 2 things, as opposed to too many things that you love at the same time, because that might breed confusion as well. And it's all part of your personal growth for the Divine Feminine. Okay, and also hats came up in the coding, so some of you may be designing hats, or decorating hats, or doing it for Halloween. Okay, so hats was coming up, but as well as 10, 8, and 18, which could be coming up in November, but as well as that money might be tight. And that would make sense. Through the 18th of November is when Venus retrograde is, through the 17th. So maybe it's just money's going to be tight through the retrograde, so just maybe hold on to it and kind of weed out unnecessary things and focus more on just a few things right now. And this is all having to do with the Divine Feminine's personal growth. So I'm not going to go through all the code stuff I got when I put it online, but the first thing that came up was "Then He Kissed Me," and then the lyrics for "Then He Kissed Me." And then we have Olivia Newton-John coming in at 3:33, okay, about loving you. That first one, too, came up from Adventures in Babysitting, so somebody might be babysitting. Also, instant coffee and frozen foods came up, Folgers specifically, and sunflowers. That was also significant to bring up, because I've been seeing sunflowers a lot lately. And sparkling sunflowers. And that was from Facet Jewelry, so that might be important for someone who wants to make jewelry. And also another song, BTS, Hold Me Tight, live from YouTube. And also 10 things I've learned from living with my team of 8 during, and then it just said why ... so year, whatever it was, or however you want to end that sentence. Again, 10 things I've learned from living with my team of 8. So some of you might be on a team. What have you learned from that? Or it could be with your spiritual team, with your twin flames that you connect with. And that actually had nothing to do with spirituality, but the site was medium.com, so that was kind of cool. Also, something came up, Rebel 8. And Amazon came up with just a quote about a dream I've been, ... however you want to fill that out. And then the last one that came up was Crystal Warren, about it was a news article about a sex addict who slept with 1,000 men used to be a man. Okay, and that was an article from the dailymail.co.uk. So now we're getting into the Divine Feminine read. Lots of action going on. Expressing feelings of love and passion. Feeling positive, destiny, and strong. But more burden might be coming up from behind, only seeing the dark aspects of hard work. So after going through this journey and kind of a little out of it as far as the disciplined work, the Divine Feminine might be focused too much on the dark aspects of work and not realizing that there does have to be some effort put in behind what they love to do, and maybe some discipline to it. The King of Swords is also out aligning with a new work opportunity possibly, or maybe alone, or some kind of opportunity to research or school in something, but also bleeding out from destiny, so they may be feeling a lot of pain. There may be an ending, or someone may have passed, but it's not a lot of like death energy. It has to do with the portal and transformation, but there may be a lot of pain for the Divine Masculine right now. Bleeding out from destiny, expressing feelings, learning to express and release their pent-up feelings. So it's very important for them to go through this pain so they'll learn to release their emotions. The High Priestess or Secret is also out. So the Divine Feminine may feel broken and healing, but shining their light and propelled possibly by manipulators and their own insecurities, or the manipulators' insecurities, possibly feeling like you don't have the tools you need for your destiny to be expressed fully. So there may be some securities around work for the Divine Feminine. For the Masculine, it's about learning his own emotions. So he's doing the more spiritual inward work now, whereas the Divine Feminine's coming out more to do their mission and their creative work, and becoming more disciplined in that. The King of Swords, inner child, or his actual child, is bleeding out. So someone's in a lot of pain. Or someone may have tripped and fell and hurt themselves. It could just be someone bleeding. But it is the Ten of Swords. There's a lot of pain here. The Divine Feminine is healing and shining her light, but the Divine Masculine is struggling with his worth and expressing in order to release his burden. So that's good. Trust came up for the underlying energy for the Divine Feminine, and as well as the portal is open now, and the Divine Feminine has been working on herself and her business, and like a rose, it's bittersweet. And also coffee and treats. There could also be the death of a marriage and or a home. So this could be for the Divine Feminine or the Divine Masculine. And some twins now are choosing to be in physical union, or some may have a date and coming together with their Divine Masculine, but may choose at that time to not come together now until the Divine Masculine is done with their karmic attachment or situation. Also, underlying energy of teaching and learning is coming up. So that's going to come from us and each other, the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, the parents and their children, everyone teaching and learning from each other. Okay. As an innocent Page of Cups now admires and learns from a Queen of Swords and a Knight of Cups, this is still all underlying energy. So this can be representative of a lot of things. It can be representative of the Divine Feminine and her children, and how her children are learning from her and their other children who have now learned a lot of the journey and what's going on. But they were all very positive. It was a Page of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and then the Knight of Cups, all upright and together. It was very beautiful, actually. Beautiful, positive energy. It very much seemed like a single parent with 2 kids, but it can also be just the emotions of the Queen of Swords maturing from the Page of Cups and that innocence to the Knight of Cups, and being able to more fully give her love to everyone that she encounters. So this innocent Page of Cups may be admiring and learning from the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Cups. And the Queen of Swords is all about truth, and the Knight of Cups is all about offering love. And the Queen of Swords may be in another world, aligns with the bigger truth, not spoken. So she may feel or be seen by her kids as in another world, or by other people. But she is now that she's worked on her own truth, is now aligning with a bigger truth that hasn't been spoken. Okay, so there may be a lot of justice issues coming up as well. And just clarifying in your own life, your own truths, and any lies that may be still running as part of your underlying energy. The Page of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the Knight of Cups, in their love and truth, have their world turned upside down by one big lie. A sudden burden of manipulation, insecurity, and divine order in order to learn to express your true feelings despite what others think, say, or do. Recently, in taking a leap of faith and freedom in order to recover your finances, time, and energy after feeling possibly destitute, and or ending a family or just an unhappy family, there's a sudden event or chain of events and or experiences or epiphanies occurred as lightning presents itself as light tributaries, energy downloads, starting small fires all over the place in order to cut through the BS, words and thoughts, and get to the truth of feelings and feeling burdened. The foundation for the Divine Feminine has to do with holding back the truth, or talking nasty behind the backs of those inspired. So it could be people talking about the Divine Feminine behind our back, but also make sure as a Divine Feminine that you're not talking about others behind their back. But holding back the truth or talking nasty behind the backs of those inspired. And it could even be children. Are you agreeing with your children's path? They may be inspired to do something that you don't agree with, but you may still need to allow them their path. Is the need to confess or drop too much work placed upon you by a dysfunctional family and or a drain or family finances, and thus feeling in limbo? And possibly that right knee block is coming up again for the masculine energy, whether it's the feminine or the masculine. It's still the masculine energy in both. That right knee block on anger. What are you angry about? And if there's a lie, what is the lie? This came up in the comments as well. If you feel there's a lie in your life, you need to clear the lie out of your life, because that's not what you want to be living. You want to purify. And there just might need to be anger. It may not be a lie. You may think it's a lie. Maybe your perspective on what you're seeing is just not correct. But either way, anger is coming up here to be expressed, to release. You're being called to trust and have faith in divine timing. Centrally, the issue for the Divine Feminine is all about the Knight of Wands magician. There's been sadness and loss after trying to sneak out of lies told, looking back, fessing up to lies in the past, and half-truths in a split, as the Queen of Pentacles remains grounded and holding back her energy and money, possibly planning a new life with him, the Knight of Wands magician. The challenge is work, impatiently implementing, so make sure you're not impatient to take your time and take the correct steps to start new businesses, that kind of thing. And also causing this impatient implementation could be causing blocks to the Queen of Cups, to her works and her energy levels of spiritual love and abilities, and standing her ground with a Knight of Cups and her offer of love to a lover who refuses to see due to heart blocks. So again here, again, coming up for the Divine Feminine are work blocks, and coming up for the Divine Masculine are heart blocks. You know, emotional based blocks, relationship blocks. Now in the head and heart, there is magical expansion of a true love through work, as the Empress has found satisfaction emotionally on her own, but surrounded by indecision, no physical affection or attention. But as the Empress comes together at work, there is success. There is good news and attention for the Divine Feminine. From maybe a Knight of Cups, maybe your kids contact you with good news. Or maybe good news to a Knight of Cups. You know, for example, like today's my son's birthday. There could be a mother and son attention like that. There is still a bigger fish to fry, though. There is change in the air. Fiery air, but there's also great love. As the Queen of Cups is tired of leaning on the truth, when all standing up for herself, she's tired of leaning on the truth and standing up for herself. And that standing up for herself is causing her just more pain and imbalance, trying to balance the 5D world and unrequited love burden of one lover tossing out the other, or just fed up and leaving as the other doesn't care, or one running away from the other. Soon the Queen of Cups, stuck in her emotions, stuck deliberating the consequence of being in a third-party situation with potentially another angry woman, lovers wanting justice, some of which may have alcohol issues and or social and gossiping issues. The Divine Feminine is going through another portal or gateway, moving forward to divine marriage and or work commitment, no longer fighting or conflicted about no messages or others' immature thoughts or words, now integrating the choices of the heart before them at this moment, or before you at this moment, requiring more light as we approach the new moon. So there's going to be more light downloads, which is part of this portal. The cards that came up as the underlying energy here are give your relationship a chance, chemistry, so there's a magnetic attraction here, and also engagement, which has to do with stepping up a commitment to the next level. Trust and pass through the Halloween portal to free yourself from karmic attachments. Around the Divine Feminine are risky downloads, possibly 2 at a time, or injustice in the aftermath and betrayal. After a lot of pain from injustice, now allowing new downloads and carefully passing them one at a time, holding back some so that they have time to mature more fully. So don't feel like every message you get, you have to get out right away. Some of them you just need to sit on for a bit. Clear blocks of the King of Swords, who masters word and thought and holds the truth across his groin, of the law and no emotion. Giving up the battle for physical things, as the Queen of Cups sits in uncomfortable emotions, of being dumped possibly, or just feeling spiritually overwhelmed, feeling that the King of Swords is cold and unfeeling. These are some of the blocks that the Divine Feminine needs to work through. Personal growth and intuition comes up as the underlying energy for the Divine Feminine. The Queen of Cups offers comfort to others who don't deserve it. Harsh truth. The Queen of Cups offers comfort to those who don't deserve it. Okay? There are, obviously not everyone, but the Divine Feminine tends to give too much. The Empress is abundant, with heart fully open in physical separation from their lover and justice, but she is free to leap or die and be trampled on. Life or death. This is the harsh truth of the Queen of Cups in her personal growth. And Spirit's connecting with me. So there's justice of holding, justice, and it's justice or happiness. You know, it's holding on to the union. There's a holding on here, holding on to a union or a home or a marriage. And needing to come down to, is it going to be justice or happiness? Life or death? Allow in the love and stay connected to your intuition. For within your intuition, you shall co-create and remain abundant. You are never separated when you stay connected to your heart and your higher self. Surrender to the happiness that you deserve. Inspiration comes in, expressing and letting go, to walk through this portal, to transform and receive more epiphanies of passionate work, as the Queen of Cups and the King of Swords expand into full abundance and intuitive powers. You will work together when you allow your full abundance. This portal leads you both to this alchemical marriage. You go through this portal, the Divine Masculine processes downloads. You receive these energies in different ways, integrating passions into work and passing down as Empress with an open heart and an open third eye. You're passing down what you're learning to your children, especially your grown children, portals for girls and downloads for the boys. The Empress expands through epiphanies and feelings. And this is the energy for her, what she's going through right now. And then before I started for the Divine Masculine, Trinity came up. And this had to do with 3 cards that I put down right at that moment, and Trinity. And it was the Queen of Pentacles, the 8 of Wands, and the 9 of Pentacles. So that'll come into this read. But I just wanted to tell you that, because that came at 12:32. So for the masculine, and that was done at 12:38 to 39. I put those cards down and finished. The major arcana are Justice, Alchemy, and Solar Deity, which is the Sun. Alchemy is the Temperance card. There were 2 Pentacles, 3 Wands, 3 Swords, 2 Wands, and 1 Cup. So pretty well distributed. A little too much swords. The only court card for the Divine Masculine is the King of Wands, the Man of Passion. There are 3 ones, which is a lot. I rarely get triples of numbers in the cards. 3 ones, so 3 aces, and 2 threes also came up, so 33 and 111, as well as 13, 1, 33, and 2321. The codes for the Divine Masculine have to do with being wise in order to alchemize any adverse events that come across their path and not become divided. So some could become very divided by the alchemical adverse event. Also needing to clear so the divine alchemy can occur. So again, the sexual alchemy might actually scare off some of the Divine Masculines. So if you do come into union, don't be worried if they run off, because it just might be overwhelming for them. So something that they need to integrate. But the Divine Masculine needs to clear and just be their wise self. But it was all about change, allowing the change and the alchemy. Let's see, was there any codes that I thought were important? Remaining the Self was one of the headings that came up. The Sage, the Wise Old, and the Elder. And that was from Jung, J-U-N-G, Atlanta.com. So that was interesting. Some CPA stuff came up. And some sports stuff, just kids' activities. But it was weird that accounting came up more than once and it had nothing to do with the codes. Also, infinite combos. Appliances. So somebody might be dealing with replacing appliances. Also, the Patriots beat the Saints in a shootout. Remain unbeaten in sports. That was from vvdailypress.com. And then the text below it was Hesperia. Sorry if I tear apart anyone's names. I'm not familiar with them. After Sage Oak came out with a new formation, Hesperia Christian was able to make necessary adjustments to pull away and secure a 50-30 victory. Okay, so that might have something to do with the journey, okay? So getting into the Divine Masculine read, the Queen of Pentacles expressing her independence at work, or Queen of Pentacles and a younger female exchanging feelings too much at work. So somebody might be talking too much at work, expressing their feelings. or find more independence using the internet. So some of the feminines, it was very positive energy. It was the Queen of Pentacles upright and the Nine of Pentacles upright with the Eight of Wands. This is what came up with the Trinity. The Trinity being the feminine with her independence and her passion. It could also be a daughter working with a feminine. But it's all about work and passion and back and forth, physical back and forth. So it could be a lot, it's, you know, the independence that the feminines achieve being able to use the internet and having their business online or at home. That was coming up. And connecting with another stable, single, independent female for work. Also the workplace actually blocking the Queen of Pentacles, like being in a formal workplace as opposed to on her own. Also, Queen of Pentacles, it may be hiding at their workplace after expressing feelings of love and passion to a younger independent person, or regarding her own being single. Expressing feelings of sadness. The ship is full of leaks and going down. And I was getting this more for the masculine than the feminine. It could be either, depending on how much masculine you have in you. So not much left to stand on. Suffering and seasick, so some might be out on a boat, and needing to clean up a flood, leaks, and or emotional mess. Some of the leaks are grounded, but other leaks have rippled out to others, as the Divine Masculine is grief-stricken at work after helping his partner become more independent and work more stable. So there might be some Divine Masculines helping their partner to learn something new or get on their feet as far as work. Also ending the pain cycle of dark cords attached to a marriage or commitment, now broken and fighting, expanding and feeling the pain for the Divine Masculine. So it could be, again, Divine Masculine or Divine Feminine, especially if she's got a lot of masculine. Or competing in physical activities to try to clear emotional pain at work for the Divine Masculine. And again, I wanted to bring up competition, because there's nothing wrong with competition within yourself, you know, to make yourself a better person, to make yourself a better athlete. But competition for the sake of competition, that leads to winning at all costs, which, you know, some of the masculines may be like that, and needing to learn that at what cost are you willing to win, really. So that's where justice comes up as well. And some of the Divine Masculines have to fall because of that in order to learn the lesson. Passion comes up as the underlying energy for the Divine Masculine, so his passions are starting to overwhelm him. Maybe he just can't hold it in anymore. The King of Wands, the man of passion, is shocked by a big love through work. Maybe he's shocked at how he feels, not expecting to have felt this way. His armor has come off, but there may be pictures still on the wall of beaches and palm trees of the devil, or bringing out the devil in him. The messenger of truth has a strong hold on the devil, and this could just be a Capricorn as well, but the devil energy was coming up, I have to say. It just could be a Capricorn though, or it could be just, you know, some of your codependencies or addictions, your habits. But this is what was coming up for me, the downloads that were coming up for me to bring to you. So remember, not all the situations are going to apply to everyone, obviously. And some of the Divine Masculines have very opposite lives. Some of them may be sleeping around with multiple people, and some of them may be very conservative in a marriage. So, you know, obviously, it was just 33-44. So not everything is going to apply to everyone. So I was getting, again, the King of Wands is shocked by this big love through work. His armor's come off, but pictures still on the wall of beaches and palm trees of the devil or Capricorn, or their codependencies or addictions, or bringing out those codependencies and addictions in him, the devil in him. The messenger of truth has a stronghold on the devil or a Capricorn, who's lost his manhood, so someone might have fallen from grace. He feels abused, or he may be the abuser, and needs a vacation, but where to go? I was getting to the beach alone, under palms, or to the woods, and actually orgies were coming up. Obviously that's only for a few maybe. But also I was getting tribal rituals, so that could be something dark, but it also could be just something very shamanistic, where maybe the people are out dancing naked because they're trying to break their insecurities, that kind of thing. So it just depends on the people. But he's seeing sinks everywhere. So he's seeing his divine feminine everywhere, trying to be strong and resist the devil. So whether he thinks he's the devil, or he thinks the divine feminine is the devil, or he thinks his karmic is the devil. It could be any of those situations. Leo and Capricorn were specifically coming up here. Okay. Underlying energy for the divine masculine is music. So he may be listening to a lot of music, or maybe needs to listen to music. It's very therapeutic. After enjoying drinking or celebrating or being on his own right now, possibly at a chalet or a chef's kitchen or a soup kitchen or a church. They were specifically things that were coming up. A Leo may be running to the past, but the High Priestess is floating upwards. So this is like in the divine masculine's mind, you know. He may be seeing his karmic as running back to the past, or wanting everything to be like the past, but then seeing the divine feminine is up, you know, up in the clouds. That the High Priestess or the divine feminine is floating upward. Could just be a secret. But there's harsh storm clouds developing above his head. Dark storms on the one side and 2 stars in the night sky on the other side. It's his performance. He writes the script. The King of Pentacles looks to the High Priestess. Although positioned, he's positioned towards the past. As the full moon fades and he sits on 3 ladyfingers selling tickets to his show, wearing magenta tights and an emerald green, so he may be dressed up that way for Halloween, holding his money wand, disguising the burning desire, about to take off for the secret or High Priestess, unable to focus on his work. He is fighting his emotions at work, or trying to avoid them by working, fighting, doing sports, etc. But recently, there could potentially be a Leo hiding money at work who's exposed or confessed, or he's been strong holding back his energy and money for a new life, and that may now be exposed at work. So any sneaky behavior or half-truths coming out at work, this is the past energy that has recently happened. The foundation has to do with thinking too much, defenseless and pretending not to see or care what others think, say, or do, about a message of love, causing a split potentially, or kids are lying, or him thinking the message is a lie, or others telling him that possibly a message is a lie. Okay, feeding into always asking other people their opinions instead of knowing for himself. So all around, thoughts of passion and suffering for the divine masculine. The central issue has to do with justice, or the King of Swords letting go, trying to fix things by spending money. And I went to write to find peace, and fight came out. So the divine masculine is fighting his peace. He may be lying to himself that he's trying to find peace, but he's actually resisting it. Maybe fixing up the house now that he's officially separated or divorced, or broken up some kind of contract, or maybe finished some kind of court case. But someone also may be in need of a cardiac cath, so some divine masculines may have a heart issue. The King of Swords has been looking down on others in their family and their children, challenged by a sudden fight between a grandmother, mother, and children, where someone was possibly arrested, went to jail, or just someone stuck in their head about the situation. Could also be involved in a conflict between his kids and a twin, or a twin and partner or mother. It depends on your situation, because some twins are together already. But, and it could be twins who are not together with them. But some kind of conflict comes up here. The Empress runs home. So whoever the Empress is representing here, so it could be a mother, it could be a karmic mother, it could be the divine feminine, it could be a grandmother, it could be a boss, it could be an older woman in the divine masculine's life. But the Empress runs home, or the divine masculine runs home away from the Empress, or taking back intellectual property. Now in the head and heart of the divine masculine is a new life of a rainbow or diamond light that the Queen of Swords talks about at work, aligning those who are disconnected, who have no opportunities, and may feel unbalanced or in need of money, stability, or a new life, maybe wanting a new life with the King of Pentacles. or holding back energy and money from the King of Pentacles, or drained at work and not receiving any compensation or losing money at work for the Divine Feminine. The King of Swords, with a third party watching, is divided over family legacy and twin, fighting at the full moon. A Queen of Pentacles, possibly with one breast, so someone who may have had a mastectomy, or who just can't look at herself in the mirror. There's a Knight of Pentacles offering something practical to help her go forward, possibly stealing from this Empress to bring home to protect themselves and their romance, while the Divine Masculine is on his own at home, possibly happy alone, finding his sovereignty, and being alone though, and thinking of past romance when he didn't have any money, and how simple it was and how beautiful it was. And now with a trophy and needing to protect himself as the Emperor, needing to learn to be happy alone. Soon for the Divine Masculine, someone's dumped or emotionally overwhelmed, free to leap but without opportunity for money, or possibly opportunity for learning or research, or just an invitation, feeling great pain of betrayal and or physical pain at home alone as the new moon looms. He is loving himself as the Hermit, or that actually could be Virgo energy as well, or a professional, or a wise old man. So he's at home loving himself as the Hermit, this Hermit, sheds light on destiny, learning new perspectives, and the Divine Masculine learning about his own negative self-talk. Loving self by learning to let go of the pain, because of course all addictions have to do with addiction to pain. The underlying energies that came up for the Divine Masculine, or not the underlying energies, but the cards that came out from the Romance Angels, was honeymoon and stay optimistic about your love life. So he may need to take a break. He may be going away with someone or just needing a break on his own. But either way, needing to stay optimistic about his love life. Needing to end the pain he experiences for new love to come in. Around him, the King of Wands shaman, and a new sunrise of coming together to co-create at home in union, left out of the crowd, religion, establishment, but together. Only his own demons stand between integrating his love with his passion. The Divine Masculine needs to clear blocks of truth, the King of Pentacles dreams of shining his light, and the Empress, happy family, third party, or the truth that him and his partner's lives are totally separate. Him wanting stardom, and her wanting a happy family and social life. What is the truth? These are the blocks for the Divine Masculine. Are you lying to yourself about your situation? Okay, so it could be all sorts of situations, whether it's him wanting his dreams, but also a happy family, whether he wants it with his karmic, or does he really want it with his twin? What's the truth? Because he's probably been pushing down his truth. He's lying to himself. So anyway, all of this stuff is coming up about what is his truth, so he can get clear on what he really wants. The cards that came up in the numerology deck for the Divine Masculine were changed, but even more so having to do with his parenting. And parenting came up yesterday, I believe, as well. So he is parenting and focusing on his affection with his kids, but misses and longs for his twin was coming up. The cheese stands alone, happy with his work, injured and left behind, and longing for his third party twin, and coming together with others. So he may be he's spending a lot of time alone. He is present, opening his heart to his true one flame, tired of, and he's giving up the battle. He then feels passionate movement, a stirring around simple romance that doesn't require a lot of money, and without options, he expresses his feelings of love and passion, possibly online or traveling, paying out debts to see what he has left over, and then makes a bold move, ready to charge. Okay, so hopefully that's not someone who has spending issues. Work is exposed. His success, status, and the stress of fighting and competition. Thoughts of love and passion, possibly of a shaman, to expose justice and patience, to end pain, with truth and a new life by him being present and learning to express his feelings in every moment. Okay? So it's all about aligning the energies now integrating as we go into the new moon energies, okay? Because we're still at the full moon, we're coming down from the full moon. So it's time, it is kind of like a limbo time. It's time for you to integrate everything that you dealt with when the moon was waxing up to the full moon. So that's what we're dealing with now. We're going into a portal now. And like I said before, I suggest watching Magenta Pixie's last video. It was very important about this portal at Halloween. The veil is very thin at Halloween, and it's not about the date of Halloween, it's about the portal energy, okay? So that you might want to plan some kind of meditation or group meditation, whatever makes you happy, but also expressing whatever makes you happy, you know, increases this energy that we need at this portal, okay? So it's so important to keep your energy up and do things that you love to do and be with people who make you happy. And do the creative things that make you happy, like listening to positive music, playing positive music, just anything, your artwork, your fun, your games, anything that floats your boat, okay? I'm going to pull your oracle cards. So we have the Ascension deck, clear your mind. Take a deep breath. Okay. Alright, what is the advice for us, everyone watching today? Today is October 29, 2018. What is the advice for everyone watching today? Okay. Always 2 want to come out. 12 chakras is on the bottom of the deck, number 1. Okay. The affirmation for the underlying energy, number 1, which is the Magician. I awaken my 12 fifth dimensional chakras. So just focusing in on 12 as opposed to 7 now. And the 2 cards that came out were, first was Mary Magdalene, again, she came out this week, which is 35-8, which is the 9 of Wands. It's the wounded warrior energy, okay? But it's also about big business and power, inner and outer strength. It's that 5 of expansion on the inside and then 3 of joy on the outside. So like we said, do what makes you happy and makes you feel free. Mary Magdalene was a high initiate in the Order of the Essenes and the spiritual partner of Jesus. She's now master of the 6th ray, raising dogma into spirituality. Mary Magdalene's Ascension retreat is Marseille with an S. She radiates a glowing buttercup yellow light to all who attune to her. Her light was hidden from us for centuries as she was misjudged about her role in Jesus' life. If you've ever felt wronged or misunderstood, Mary Magdalene offers you the courage to maintain your integrity and not take it out on others. And this is a good time for me to remember to remind you guys to not take your hurt out on your twin, because you're just taking it out on yourself if you do that. Okay? Remember that. This card is an invitation to attune to Mary Magdalene to receive her blessing. And the affirmation is, I maintain my truth and see the spirituality in all things. So again, it has a lot to do with justice. When you feel injustice in your life, you can initially try to fight it, but it's going to come down to, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? I know, I went through this with disability. Okay, it becomes very clear. Do you want to be drained for the rest of your life because you have to fight the system? And it's 48-48 coming up right now. And 48 has to do with that walking away and going within to find your happiness. Even if you have those 8 cups, what's the one that's missing that you're longing for? Staying in a fight is not going to help you get there. The other card that came out, so we have 35 and 36. So very much about the end of the wands. It's in the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Wands. It's about ending the burdens. Lord Cthulhu is 36. It says Lord Cthulhu, well, the 36, first of all, like I said, that's the 10 of Wands. It is the 9 of endings, universal selflessness, compassion. It's also the 6 of the motherly energy on the inside, coming through the joyful exterior. So we have both of them, with the 3 on the outside. Being the happy-go-lucky, smiling, social person. Raise your vibration. Lord Cthulhu is the world teacher. In his incarnations is St. Francis, Shah Jahan, who built the Taj Mahal, and Melchior, how do you spell Melchior, one of the wise men. Lord Cthulhu practiced harmlessness, love, and wisdom. These energies are encapsulated in this card, so you're encouraged to spread knowledge and spiritual truths to others with humility and inspiration. Be ready to learn, for Lord Cthulhu is drawing your attention to something important. He's a member of the Brotherhood of the Golden Robe, those who take in and transmute the pain of the world. If you're sensitive to energies, ask him to wrap you in his light. And the affirmation is, I am open to learning and teaching, which came up today. Learning and teaching, teaching and learning. To practice harmlessness, love, and wisdom. To not only teach, but allow others to teach you. Humility and inspiration. And remember, and he's a member of the Brotherhood of the Golden Robe, those who take in and transmute the pain of the world, which is all of the twins, your transmuters. You are sensitive to energies, so ask him to wrap you in his light. Okay, the Golden Robe. All right, for the past life deck. And I won't forget, I'm going to put up pictures of the reads too when I finish this, okay? Clear and align. Take a deep breath. Alright, this is October 29, 2018. What is the advice? What is the advice for everyone listening? What is the advice? Okay. We have wisdom again at the bottom. The unicorn came up, I believe it was yesterday. Look, I love how that comes up like that. It's beautiful. How etheric wisdom is. Okay? But again, that's the unicorn of wisdom. It's the underlying energy. And the card that came out, which came out, I think this was yesterday too, is spirituality and religion. Okay? So it's all about looking more into your spirituality. Opening a book, lighting a candle, that came up too on Magenta 2, is that lighting candles are good on this portal energy. Okay, and it has so much to do with the divine marriage. This is about opening a book, opening your hand chakras, like we talked about yesterday. You know, open up your healing chakras. And it's just about expanding your light, and you'll be receiving these new downloads too, which is going to expand you as well. So it doesn't matter what religion you are, and it doesn't have to be like technically spiritual, whatever you want to feel into. It could be old templates of spirituality and religion too that you need to break, you cut cords with. But it's shining a light on what works for you. That's what I was just getting. And that the man whose hands are in this picture, he does have a wedding ring on. The divine marriage. Shedding a light on the divine marriage. And then for Journey of Love, take another deep breath, guys. October 29, 2018. What is the message for everyone watching? What is the message? Please be clear. Okay. Got two cards. We have Contemplation at the bottom. It's number 69. Okay. 69 is a 6. And that's the Ace of Cups. 69. I'm sorry, not the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles. So it's about that new life and contemplating that new life. That's the underlying energy. And the cards that came up for you are Rings of Time, which is number 44, the number Atlas. Okay, and that's, like I said, number 44, which is an 8. 8 is of power, strength, manifestation, staying balanced. And it's very much about staying balanced. It's the 4 and the 4. It's very much of this world, earthly things, the social worker. The other card that came out is Let the Feminine Lead the Way. It's number 39, which is the Knight of Cups. Okay. The colors are very different. One is very red and green and brown, and the other one is very much teal, indigo, and different shades of teal. It's not quite aqua or anything, it's more of those teal-y shades of blue, and also black, and there's a little bit of orange in here, a rust. I'm going to read them both to you. Well, 39 came up first, that's what we're going to read. Let the feminine lead the way. The feminine principle in you, whether man or woman, is the way forward in your life now. She is the principle of feeling and of surrender. She feels the intelligence of the divine guiding light in a way that the masculine principle cannot at this time. You may not see where you're going, therefore, but you can feel your way forward. Trust her. Let your mind go and let your senses lead you, becoming more exquisite and communicative. Be led by your heart. Don't worry if you don't know all the details yet or how it's going to work out. She'll know the way. Let her lead. Okay, so it's really about trusting your knowing and your heart and your third eye. Okay. This oracle brings confirmation to you that what you've been feeling or sensing, even without any logical physical evidence, is worth following up on. So that might be a little struggle for the divine masculine, who's very logical. Trust your senses over appearances. Trust your intuition over your intellect. You're letting feminine wisdom guide you, and she will steer you in the best direction. The poem reads, My coming out is the freedom to fully be who I am, and the surrender to the divine essence, expressing through and around me. My coming out is the marriage of twin souls with my life partner, in gratitude, in love, and spirits connecting with me, unfolding as more than we could ever be on our own. How beautiful is that? I haven't read that one in a long time. Okay. And then 44, Rings of Time. So now we have alchemical marriage, and now we have Rings of Time. 44. Divine timing is granted to us in a gift. Sometimes if we want to be further ahead than where we are, that gift can seem like a restriction rather than a generous holding. Much like traffic that moves systematically so that not only one car but many can reach their destination, according to a greater harmony and alignment, we are like individual cars that must sometimes accept red lights and other times can flow swiftly through many green lights. It is just this way, the systematic flow of divine energy through human manifestation. Your spiritual maturation is happening perfectly. There's no need to bother yourself about timing. When doors open, walk through. When there appear to be no such openings, rest and reflect. The rings of time serve you, beloved. This oracle brings you a message that the divine is completely responsible for the timing of every event, opportunity, and happening of grace in your life. All you need to do is live your life in Spirits Connecting. Everything else is taken care of for you now. This applies to all your plans and the unfolding of all of your relationships. Let it all breathe. Take a deep breath and let the divine happen as it will. The poem reads, There's a beautiful silence now. As I hold your hands and listen to your eyes, across the span of moments called time, there are no words that say as much, nor walls that can confine the wings of our feelings or the rhythm of our eyes. Okay. That was a really beautiful, perfect combo for us today. So again, it's saying, stop worrying and feeling uncomfortable, not knowing what to do next. That's being in your head. It's about dropping into your heart, staying your feminine, your knowing, your trust, your faith, and knowing that you're not in control here. You are not in control. Whether you're divine feminine or divine masculine, it's not in your control. So just be happy. Go do something fun. Okay? I'm going to pull you one more card. I've been getting into this lately, pulling this extra card. Clear it away. We're going on 60 minutes. It was just 59:59. 59 is the 5 of Swords. Okay. So that's brain wars. It means get out of your head. Okay. Getting to the hour, the 60, that's finding peace in your head. Okay. Let go. Alright, so take a deep breath and okay, Source, what is the energy for everyone? What is some last advice for everyone listening? What do we need to know? What are the energies that we need to know? Okay. Well, that's perfect. Might not be what you want to see, but it's what just came up. Okay, so the underlying energy is judgment, reversed. Okay. So that has to do with indecision and deliberation, poor judgment. All right. When you're not sure what to do, let go. And you may feel like passionately running in right now and stopping short or holding back your passions right now because you're not sure what you want to do, what direction you want to go into. You may be hearing the call, but then feeling resistance as well. It's about letting go of the control of it all. The cards that came out are the 6 of Pentacles reversed. Okay. So that's about, it could just be an imbalance like paying out debts, but just you might have one part of your life a little off balance, so come back into alignment, and it was just 10144. And then we have what I was just talking about, brain wars. We've got the 5 of Swords guy. Okay, that's brain wars. It's taking everyone else down before they can get you. It's fighting in your head, fighting yourself, having a war. Why? It serves no purpose except to drain you. If you're worried about not having enough money, okay, about the home, because the home also, the 4 of Wands is also coming out. This could have to do with union and homes and celebrations and weddings, all of those things. But in order to clear for union, all right, you need to rebalance, okay? So you might need to just rebalance in a practical way. Some of you may need to pay off some debts, but you need to stand in your truth, but not by taking down others. Okay, you don't need to be guarded. You need to have your heart open here. So get out of your head, stop fighting yourself, and stop fighting others. You're ready to take on any challenge. You don't need to react to anything. You know what your truth is. Okay, union. The alchemical marriage. Okay. So, get out of your head, stop trying to control, and let it all be. Find your happiness, okay? Drink your water, get your rest, get outside, exercise, all that kind of stuff. And you know the routine. Just mostly rise and be loved, guys. Bye. Have a great day.